Back to the Denny V show. It is such an honor to be back here to be speaking with you in episode 6. If you haven't caught episode 5, it was all about trust and how self-trust is the epitome of really stepping into that leadership. So if you haven't looked at that, jump back over to episode 5. But today we're going to be looking at vulnerability and why vulnerability is key to the success in leadership. So there's this illusion we've had that we've been fed to be trusted, to be respected, and even loved. We have to look like we have to have it all together. The poise, put together, you know what I mean? You know, that pulled together leadership. And I get it. I've been bought into it too. And so often have I been just there really showing up poised and perfect when really in the background, it's not always that perfect. So, what we're going to be looking at today is how real influence actually can look. And this is where we really step into being vulnerable and showing up with that vulnerability. And I'm going to start with me. The past 18 months have been the most confronting, painful, and even powerful season I've even walked through. I've had trust broken in ways I never thought I saw coming. Truths were hidden from me, soul level realizations that have left me questioning everything on every aspect of life. And just when I thought, you know what, I've got through the worst of it, more layers revealed themselves, more loss, more rebuilding. And what's been most confronting though is realizing that even in those dark, aching moments, I was still leading. I was leading, still showing up, still being perceived as put together. And in some ways, I was, but not in the way that people thought. Here's what I've learned over this time. And really, when I think about it, it's been more than 18 months. Having it all together isn't about never failing, never falling apart. It's about knowing how to honor yourself when you do. It's about having the courage to say, I'm still here, still leading, but I'm not pretending anymore. When I launched this podcast 6 episodes ago, I was blown away by the support. So many beautiful messages and shares and encouragement poured in from so many incredible humans. But there was also a few voices, quiet dismissals, unsolicited advice, a few who didn't say a thing. And for a moment, I stopped and I questioned myself. Am I not polished enough? Should I be doing this differently? But then it came back to what I know. And this is that people who are meant to feel your work will. And the people that don't, they were never meant to be a part of your audience. And this is one of the greatest lessons I've learned through my over 25 years in business. Brené Brown once said, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up when you can't control the outcome. And in leadership, it's not about controlling the outcome either. It's about showing up fully, not perfectly, not for applause, but for a presence, that energetic presence, that executive presence with ownership, with integrity. And that's what I teach inside my Embody framework. Today, I'd really like to dive into the O for the ownership of the Embody framework. And this is all about radical responsibility, where we don't influence through perfection, where we keep striving for creating that influence through truth and living it. So if you're holding yourself back until you have it all together, this is your okay to say, you know what? I'm going to do it. I want to offer you this. Leadership isn't about having it all figured out. It's about being real enough to keep showing up even when you don't want to. Your vulnerability doesn't make you weak. It makes you trustworthy. People don't need your perfection. They need your presence. They need your energy. They need to see your humanness. And this is where real influence begins. So before we close off today, I want to leave you with something that you can take into your week. Next time that you find yourself just catching yourself trying to hold it all together, I want you to pause and ask yourself, is there space for me to be seen here? as I really am, not poised, not perfect. This question can change how you show up with your team, in your business, in your relationships, and most importantly, with yourself, because vulnerability doesn't mean unraveling. It means letting go of the performance so your real presence can lead. That's where your power lives. That's where your trust begins. Thank you so much for coming and learning and growing with me today. If this conversation stirred something within you, just a quiet yes, a truth where you've been carrying something about having to be perfect all the time, I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email or, go over to my socials. It's all in the show notes. And if you're ready to go deeper, I do have Early Bird open for my Elite Embody Mastermind. And if this is something that you're really passionate about, that is also in the show notes on how you can contact me and start your application now. I would love for you to start amplifying your vulnerability. And this is where the magic starts to happen. So until next time, I would love for you to just really lead gently with yourself and others. And never be afraid to show up in the truth of who you are, because you are magic exactly who you are right now. I can't wait to see you next time. And thank you so much again for coming to listen, and share this with anybody that you feel it will really resonate with. Until next time.